don't invest in someone based on how much you like them. Invest in them based on how much they're investing in you. If someone's not showing you they want you, stop chasing that person. Stop giving that person your time. Nothing wrong with taking a break from dating if you need it, or slowing down, taking more time for yourself or other activities so that you can refuel and bring more energy to your love life a little bit later on. Just don't allow a pit stop to become a dead end, because that will be doing your life a disservice. Even if you reintroduce things that you want to do for your love life slowly, at some point, get the car moving again. Always remember this: we cannot control when we meet the one, but we can control how many people we meet and how quickly we let go of someone who is the wrong one. Now, how do I score a point? Once you get into that cycle, it spirals. One person has to be prepared to break that cycle. I'm not going to do that game. I don't define success by whether you're in a relationship or whether you're married. How many of you, put your hands up, know someone who's in a marriage and failing miserably? So you know that being in a marriage doesn't make you successful. That's surface level bullshit. Being in a relationship isn't a barometer of success. Being happy is. That's the key. Is being happy. Wherever you are, whatever experience you're going through right now, how do I derive happiness from this experience? And ironically, when you derive happiness from this experience over here, let's call it being single, everyone wants to convince you to come over here. Right? We give energy in a certain situation because we like someone or we're attracted and we want it back. And then when we don't get it back, we feel like a failure and we decide not to give that energy again. I think that it's better to start by saying, what energy do I want to represent in life? What energy do I want to bring into a room? You don't keep up your standards with the guys you like. Look, it's easy to have standards when you don't care if somebody leaves. But when you really want someone, that's when you start bending over backwards to please them. And I see women everywhere giving extenuating circumstances to guys that they like. We have to maintain our standards around the people we want, especially around the people we want. Because when a guy sees you maintaining standards around him, that's what makes you attractive. That's what makes you desirable. He knows that around you, he has to raise his game. 5 plus 5 is always 10. A guy's abusive, 5 plus 5 is 10. You don't need to sit there analyzing it and dissecting it, you leave. When a guy tells you he's not sure what he wants or he doesn't want a relationship with you, 5 plus 5 is always 10. It's never 11. It doesn't matter if the guy's good looking. It doesn't matter if you really connect with him on the deepest level. It doesn't matter if on paper he's everything you want. 5 plus 5 is always 10. You move too quickly. Another problematic side effect of liking someone too much is that you want to rush through the stages to get closer to them. But that doesn't allow courtship to take place. I'm not talking about how quickly you sleep with someone or any of that stuff. All I'm talking about is how much you invest and how soon. When you overinvest too quickly, a guy worries that he hasn't actually earned his place in your life. And if someone doesn't feel like they earned something, they don't value it the same way.
You can just say, that outfit in your profile pic, ... I like this because it's an intriguing opener. If you can tell it's actually an outfit that he really likes, you may want to be careful because you don't want to sound like you're insulting him. But if he's wearing like a funny outfit or something that stands out, you just saying that outfit in your profile pic ... is a great way. It's like a cliffhanger opener. It's going to get him to message back because he wants to know what you mean by that. You say, are you really a skydiving instructor? ? That's it. That's your message. Now you can change that. You can make it, did you really go to Vietnam? Did you really go to this part of the world? Or did you really do that? Anything like that is gonna work really well because firstly, it's focused on him. It's focused on what he's, something you've seen in his profile, something he can relate to because he's actually done it. It's all about him. It may sound pedantic, but I would put 2 question marks because it's like you're asking him, like, you really did that, or you really do that for a living, whatever it may be. It's a nice way to start. So that's 1.
Instead of falling for the real person, you've fallen for an ideal. This means that you have a guy in front of you who has great qualities. Maybe you bond intellectually. Maybe he likes art and you like art. You like the same movies. You find him very attractive. And because he has a few qualities you really like, you start to paint this picture of him as being ideal. And it's one of the most dangerous things you can do. Because just because somebody's ideal on paper, it doesn't mean they're ideal for you. Those are very different things. It's a non sequitur. He has great qualities. He's right for me. No, that's a huge jump. In the middle there is the whole part where he chooses you, where he says, yes, I want a relationship with you. I know what I want in life, and it's you. When that part isn't there, he cannot be ideal.
So I'm getting older, so I tend to move quickly. And I don't want to scare my dates away, but I'm wondering, how do I get to the next level without becoming too desperate emotionally or sexually?
It's really tricky, isn't it? Because, of course, how do you look like you're not in a rush when, in fact, you're in a rush? One key is to get rid of the wrong guys faster. I don't want you to rush things because rushing things scares people away, right? That doesn't mean go slow with the wrong guy. Because if you're with the wrong guy and he's meandering and he's not sure what he wants, going slow with that guy can waste your life. But if you meet the right guy and he's showing you all the right signs that he's dating with purpose, that he wants something more, you don't want to rush it with that guy or you could ruin it, because no guy wants to feel that you're going after him because you want something and not because you want him. So take your time with the right guy and get the wrong guy out of your life as quickly as you possibly can. Show, don't tell. If you're funny, don't tell me you're funny. Say something funny. If you're loving, don't tell me you're loving. Tell me your favorite idea of a day off is to hang out with your sister who's your best friend. The one for you is a combination of 2 things. He is both right and ready. Right in terms of the qualities he possesses, and ready in terms of his willingness to give what you want in a relationship. I would go as far as to argue, if a guy isn't ready, he can't be right. Now, I get that you may love someone intensely. We've all felt that at some stage, and I would never judge you for that. Nietzsche said there is always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. So no matter what your friends or family or anyone else says, you know that there's a reason you love someone, and you know that you're not crazy for feeling it. But just because there's a legitimate reason for loving someone, it doesn't make that person the right person. As M. Scott Peck said in The Road Less Traveled, love is a decision. We decide to love someone, and if the guy in front of you isn't deciding to love you, you have to question whether he really is the one for you.
How do you make yourself unforgettable?
You have to connect on emotion, not logic. So I think a lot of people go on dates and it becomes this very CV exercise where I ask you a bunch of interview-style questions. Everyone's got to go for emotion. Logic is, what do you do for a living? Mm-hmm. Emotion is, why do you do that for a living? Logic is, where's your favorite place in the world to go to? Emotion is, why is that your favorite place in the world to go to?
Okay, I like that.
To me, teamwork is everything. Like, being a genuine team is huge. Really looking at each other as teammates, as opposed to you're there to meet my needs or I'm competing with you in some way.
Man, I've done that before.
Like, we're an actual team. Show, don't tell. If you're funny, don't tell me you're funny. Say something funny. If you're loving, don't tell me you're loving. Tell me your favorite idea of a day off is to hang out with your sister who's your best friend.
There are 3 layers of confidence: the surface level, the lifestyle level, and the core. The surface level of confidence is the way you hold yourself, the
Your
way you
swagger.
talk. Yeah, exactly. It's what other people see, and it's the easiest level to fake. Once someone tests you or rejects you, if you don't have something underneath that, it quickly evaporates. The second level is the lifestyle. These are the things that give you confidence. So your job, your hobbies, the things you're good at in life, your friends, your family. The core is what's left when all of the lifestyle level goes away. Friends leave, when you get injured and you can't work out anymore, when you lose that job. Core confidence is what remains. And that is the relationship that you have internally with yourself. And that ultimately is the thing that makes people invincible.
Well, there is an easy formula. I think for a lot of people, if you're even asking the question, the answer is probably no. When someone is asking the question over and over and over, is this worth it? Is this guy worth it? Usually it's no. When someone is crazy into someone and having the best time and it feels great, they're not saying, should I be here? They're not asking, is this worth it? They're having a great time. When someone says, is this worth it? Usually it's them continuing to try and justify whatever behavior is happening in the relationship that they're trying to ignore because they're afraid of going out there and being on their own again.
Oh, yeah, y'all hear that?
That's good.
That is good.
Start with whatever it is you're still beating yourself up about.
Let
from
yourself
the past.
off the hook.
Yeah, and actually learn to love your mistakes. When you try and erase your mistakes, when you try and get rid of those, you erase yourself. I think people spend their lives almost like erasing themselves. And if you can actually learn not just to accept your past, but actually fall in love with it, that to me is the beginning of self-love on a completely different level.